PLC.
Assalamualaikum. I was actually amazed to see that entire board management, how we are operating. Absolutely there, so nobody needs to go anywhere. If someone can follow this, you will see that the best practiced board management you will see there. So thank you, sir, for your sensible and very exhaustive presentation. It will take a bit long term, but I will try to finish in 10 minutes if you allow. In this presentation, some of the things very, very clearly came out, and I must admit that the page 16, which is the most important for our context, the family-owned companies. The governance is a big challenge for family-owned companies. Most of us might have worked in multinational, so we have heard, we have never seen. Some of you are working in local companies, you have a practical experience. But out of this entire presentations, I would want to mention, which Rahat Bhai have already been copied from me, the tone at the top. So we see that we are working for a multinational company, and the tone at the top from our group and from the shareholders is for transparency, for the openness, and to have a debate within the board. But I also have seen that in so many boards that where independent directors or directors cannot speak because they feel, okay, if I say something, what will be my position in this board? So for any governance or for any functionality of the board, I think tone at the top from chairman or from the owners is very, very important. And in this context, I would like to share one experience, especially on 16 page, that how Indian corporate have actually emerged as a global corporate. You all have heard so many companies in India. They also started like us. The evolution of governance is like that. Initially, when the company was a startup, there was no discussion about the governance. It's just building the capital by evasion of tax or by doing everything, build up the capital. When they have reached to mid-sized corporate, then they started thinking about putting in place about the structure and everything. And in this process, what I have seen that the chairman or the entrepreneur, when he realized that, yes, I have been able to make this company up to this level, say for example 500 crore or 1000 crore, if I have to take this company to the next level, it is impossible by me, because they have realized that I have a limitation of experience, and they also have limitation of outside in. They always believe, usually those who have interacted with the big entrepreneur, you will see that he keeps on saying and you will have to listen. You cannot actually debate, because he believes that he knows better than you. So you will be only listening and executing. You have no right to debate. You have no right to share your own opinion. But what Indian big corporate have done, the chairman and the board and the owners, they have engaged with the consultant. They got educated themselves that what is the next for them. So the brain of the company, first they have got education at their own, and then they engage with so many professionals, and they understood that yes, what they have done up to this level is not going to take them to the next level. And they found that yes, the best way to run a company or to take to the next step is to give it to corporate management, not us. They actually aloof themselves from the day-to-day operations, and they started seeing, observing. Initially was with doubt. Everyone's board meeting, as key presenter have mentioned, and then when they got the trust that yes, then monthly or instead of monthly, quarterly meeting. So this is one learning I think we have to take with our local entrepreneur. Otherwise, what we see that after one generation, the business is actually not surviving. So from the institute, that's why I fully agree with the recommendation that the key presenter have mentioned, that Institute of Directors which is very, very important. I know for sure one company, listed company, MNC, their chairman is neither shareholders nor anything, nobody, he is just a directors of Australian Institute of Directors, and he is running for last 15 years. So I think the more outside in concept is very, very important for a country like us. Similarly, another point I would like to mention that reverse mentoring. So I think Mohammad also have mentioned that one is obviously diversity of the directors within the board. It is very important. Diversity is not only male, female, diversity is more on experience, diversity is more on different types of knowledge, so that everyone is actually contributing and we take the right decision, which is again completely opposite than the local way of running the business. So diversity of board member important, as well as the reverse mentoring for the board members is also important. Usually, as I mentioned, board of directors or owners feel that they know everything, but actually they also have to learn something, and the culture which has to be built in our company. The last part is our profession. So I also used to be chartered company secretary for a listed company. I'm privileged that I work in multinational company, but I also fully aware what is happening, how they operate in a very, very stringent way in a local environment. So the challenge is that the company secretary has to play a very, very balanced role. The owner, if it is owner-driven company, the CEO and the chairman and other directors. I feel one area which company secretary needs to improve, that our engagement in the business, not as an only company secretary. Whoever have gone beyond the company secretary role, this is because of the engagement in the business. So if the company secretary is good enough to understand the linkage between the functions, linkage with the business and the strategy, he can actually play much better role than a ordinary company secretary. So my summary of this presentation is basically very exhaustive, a very good note for managing a board with ethically as well as professionally, but we need to now do something for our big corporate so that they can actually sustain their business from one generation to another generation. Thank you.